it's me. I already said these things. So yeah, the outline. What is Nuxt.js? What is Headless CMS? The website that we are going to develop, and question and answers part. So let's start. What is this whole topic about? Well, it is about web development and how things can be developed much more complicated and complex than they should be, at least as per this meme. But in fact, even though this is a joke and we developers tend to overcomplicate stuff, I think that in today's approach, we are actually going to develop something that is much easier and smoother and more straightforward in terms of our like how we developers like to work. And yeah, so what is Nuxt.js? Nuxt.js is a static website generator, and it is actually a framework of another framework called Vue.js, and it actually helps us develop static websites with some modern technologies like Vue, for example, is. Some other frameworks like Nuxt.js are Gatsby, which is built on top of React, as well as Next.js, and Gritsum, for example. There are some old school or like the pioneers of static site generators like Hugo or Jekyll. They are based on Hugo was or is based on developed on top of Go programming language, and Jekyll is on top of Ruby, and they are all both using their programming languages syntaxes. And yeah, they were fine, great. They are extremely powerful. Talking about those old cool approaches, but they are lacking those modern framework capabilities, routing, virtual DOM, and so on. So yeah, Nuxt.js is a framework of choice for this presentation, although everything I'll show you is going to work with any other modern framework as well. So yeah, static websites, this is again a realistic representation of what is happening nowadays. We have a lot of options, and developers are choosing what they like. And usually when choosing a framework, the main goals are to use something that has a community and that has enough features that we need for a specific project. Then headless CMSs, again, similar situation. We used to use traditional, so-called nowadays, content management systems that handled and that still handle visual part of the websites as well as the content side of the website. So, for example, in WordPress, you would log in, design your website using some options inside your theme, or develop a completely different theme using some plugins, or develop custom themes and so on, and extend it heavily with other plugins. That was fine, and still is fine for something that is more straightforward. And I don't want to say basic, because there are so many examples of huge complex systems, but something that is, let's say, more something that is easier to implement. Then when it comes to more complex stuff are always complex, no matter the technology. Some technologies tend to help us bridge those gaps. So headless CMSs came in to help us avoid a bunch of plugins, to be able to develop something that became straightforward thing, like, I don't know, developing a custom website with completely custom code, where you can have full control over your code without installing third-party plugins, or overriding some existing functionality. So headless, why headless? Headless because they are kind of solving one problem, but um, introducing another as per some internet memes, and it is there they are lacking by default. Still, there are some examples where this is implemented, but they are by default lacking visual layer of the website. So you have like a content management system that is just outputting the API. So you can then use that API to consume the content on different places. Because of that, you can use one centralized instance of your content management system, install it somewhere, have it somewhere, and then consume content, the same exact content on a website, on a mobile app, on another website, somewhere else, wherever API requests are available. So yeah, let me show you what I prepared for this and why I think this is such an interesting approach. And then we can talk about that. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them at the end, so that we don't spend too much time, yeah, in the middle. So yeah, what I imagine for this presentation is that I'll develop or integrate content management system into a website. I thought about that for some time, how to structure this presentation to help you, to show you the core principles of this approach without showing you some like regular stuff like developing components, HTML and CSS. So I use this template or on
I'm sorry, Momcilo. We are not able to see your screen. I'm not sure if you are aware of that. Just to let you know.
Okay, that is not really good. I went through
Yeah,
the presentation. Okay.
yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, cool. So here's the presentation. Again, going through the slides, nothing much, just for the sake of recording this. I guess you'll have a link of this recording, so you'll be able to fast forward or skip things in the presentation. So let me show you the code. I'll use this code base, this template from Tailgrids. They develop this open source software or open source code base that you can use and adapt for your needs, and moved that to simple Nuxt code base. Nuxt, someone asked before this call whether we are going to use Nuxt 3 or Nuxt 2. I'll use Nuxt 2 just for the sake of more people are using it. So maybe it's going to be more straightforward, even though it is almost the same as Nuxt 2 in terms of the structure and layout. So yeah, I moved everything to I moved this page to Nuxt and split this into components. So our goal for this session is to show you how we can have statically generated website editable through CMS. And yeah, let's go. For this, I'll show you how it works in BCMS. BCMS is a headless CMS that is powering those kinds of websites, static websites, and approach is kind of similar when it comes to like how you structure your APIs and so on. With any other headless CMS out there, there are some differences between them, but I won't cover that here. But I'm like available for any questions after this call or on LinkedIn or wherever. And yeah, let's do so. What we are covering right now is creating data structure for this page. So this page has a header. I'll skip that. I'll create just a few interesting pieces. Then you'll be able to understand how to replicate that for any other component on this page, because I don't want to waste too much of your time. So yeah, there's this hero section, then features, then this kind of like about section here, pricing plan, um, frequently asked questions, testimonials, theme, and footer. Kind of basic website, or contact section and footer, kind of like straightforward basic website, but there are a lot of things to do here. And yeah, let me show you how it looks like developing this kind of things. First, I'll try splitting this into two sides, okay, and expand this a bit. So we want to create a data structure for this hero section, for example, first. And it is a part of homepage. So let's create a template. That's the terminology inside BCMS called a template, and template is a data structure. Data structure can be used in two ways in BCMS, and it is to create a data structure for one of a kind, like a homepage, contact us page, or create a template that you can use over and over again, for example, for a blog page where you have a lot of blog entries. So we are going to create a home page, and I'll call it just home, and it is going to be a single entry, as I mentioned. And yeah, by default, I'm right now testing the responsiveness of this. The layout is a bit weird on half screen, but yeah, it looks like this. So first, by default, we get title and slug, and those are the properties that come with homepage by default. So this is how it looks like when you want to edit this. Here in templates, I created a template, and immediately I get that template available to add content to it. But let's finish the editing or adding data structure to it. So here we have a title by default in CMS. I won't create title for this then we can use that. Then we have some kind of like a description or intro or something. So I'll create another property called description. It is going to be a string. Let me go actually back. I'll skip these things. I'll create a property, and properties are kind of like inputs, and you can add different kinds of inputs. For example, string or rich text that allows you to add like title or bold or italic or something. Then number, date, Boolean, enumeration, media, and then those two that are pointing to another stuff inside CMS. We'll cover that. So this one is going to be string, and I'll call it description. And then when you're creating a property, you can decide whether it's required to enter data to that input or not. If it's required, then you won't be able to save an entry without populating that input, and whether it's an array or not. Like if you want to allow people to add more of it, in our case, it is just a single description, but sometimes maybe you want to have multiple paragraphs or something. So yeah, this is description. Then we have two buttons. Because of this layout and kind of how they are styled, I guess we can't do much about, like we can create a data structure that will allow us to select whether the button is like a big white button or small text-like button. But in our case, I'll hard code that inside CMS and just allow you to enter content editor to edit only the URLs, the URL for download and URL for start on GitHub link. So I'll do that like this. I'll create a property called string and say like download URL. It's not required, so if content editor doesn't populate that, we won't show the button. And star, again, it is again string and GitHub URL. So we have these two properties as well, and then we only have this kind of image. So I'll call it just a image because it's inside home page. So it's going to be a media and image. And yeah, again, not required. So that's how it looks like. And I think we covered everything that we need for this hero part. We have those few elements. And yeah, let's populate that. I'll go to home entry, and for the title, I'll just copy paste this here, copy paste this here. The slug is being automatically populated. I'll just rename it or change it to home. And we have download URL, which can be both will go to GitHub, or let's say Google and github.com. And then we have an image. For that, I'll save this one. Oops. I turned off the server. Let me open this one here, or here. It's this one. Cool. So I'll add media. I'll create a new folder inside media that I can easily find later on files around CMS. I'll call it home, for example, and then I'll just upload this hero image here. Done. Select that. Okay, alt text dashboard. Okay, cool. I can save that, and we are done with this part. Then we have a few more things. I'll show you, for example, this other kind of creation. For example, in this case, we have features. Features. And features have subtitle, title, description, and then the list of features. And then I'm thinking like, okay, in our case, we can create those features the same way we created this this hero part, and like we can predefine them in terms like we have subtitle, title, description, and then the list of features. We can either do that, or we can create a completely separate template saying like feature, and then for each feature we create a separate page. Why? Because we have learn more here that indicates that probably we are going to end up having a separate page for each feature. Let's do another thing. In our case, let's do something that is a bit more similar or similar, but at the same time we'll cover another feature or option inside BCMS. For this situation, I'll create again like a feature part of this home page, but I'll use groups to create this kind of feature. So I'll go back to templates and edit our home template, adding like a feature subtitle is going to be for this one. Then feature title, again, string. Okay, and then feature description. Okay, and now I'll need to create these 4 items. Instead of creating like feature 1 icon, feature 2 icon, feature 1 title, and so on, I'll create a group called feature group. Here are the groups. Groups are in CMS just a reusable piece of inputs. Like you have a group of inputs that you can use over and over again. So a group feature is going to contain this is C. This is SVG, okay, and it has okay. This is an SVG, and it has title, description, and URL. So for that, I'll create features. So I'll create icon media, and then we'll upload those SVGs. Oh, I see why I'm okay. I have this window here. So yeah, I have icon, then we have title. Title, it is required. For example, you can't add a feature without title. Then I can add the description, and learn more is probably going to stay learn more. You won't change for every item the text, link text, but sometimes you want to do that. It's easy to update inside CMS that later. But yeah, let's add just the URL, for example, because URLs in like early stage startups could, maybe if you don't have like a feature page if you don't have a page for each feature, maybe you would like to like redirect to some external links or blogs or something. So it's a good thing to have URL separately. Okay, that's it. Now we have one feature, and how can we add that to our home page? Well, by using the group pointer. So we are now going to point to a group. We are going to call this input features and select group. It's just feature, and it's going to be an array to allow multiple features to be selected. And yeah, that's it. Let's go to home page and see how it looks like. Now we have feature subtitle, feature title, description, and then features that we can add one by one. Let me add this is subtitle, this is title, and this is description. And now we can add features. Okay. Title, description, some URL that can be just like this, for example, for now. And I didn't save upfront these SVGs, so let me do that quickly. It is HTML. I won't save every SVG separately. I'll just reuse the same one. So here's the SVG. Okay, and now inside CMS, okay, I can upload. We have home, but I can create another folder called features. Okay, and inside of it, I'll upload this SVG. Done. Okay, select that, and we have our SVG. And okay, then I'll add another feature, multi-purpose template. The favorite part about this is that the favorite part for me about this is that it is so easy to add content here and model everything. I understand that yeah, maybe this is kind of like a developer thing, but for example, designers are totally able to do these kind of things because this is so similar to creating components in Figma, for example. You're using a kind of you're using a set of content data structure over and over again for every piece of content. So it is almost the same, and they can come up with complete content and data structure on their own and hand it off to developers, for example. It's kind of like a documentation even for developers. Imagine if you get the whole design as well as data structure set up and maybe the whole content, then you don't need to use like dummy content, especially when you're doing redesign of a website that already has some content. It is so powerful. So yeah, I think I forgot to add here. So yeah, cool. We have 3 features. That's enough. So yeah, we are halfway through our time. So I'll show you how we can then show this on the page. This is already Nuxt. I think I turned it off. Yeah. Okay. I'll show you 2 things. First, I'll show you how to connect BCMS to Nuxt, and then to like a new fresh Nuxt project, and then I'll skip to the other code base where I already added all the components, so that you don't need to watch me code this in Tailwind. Someone might be interested in that, but that's for the other call. So yeah, to do so, let me recap a few things. We created a template called homepage, and we are going to require or request content from BCMS and display it inside our homepage file inside Nuxt. And yeah, then I'll first scaffold the project locally. So here in BCMS, one thing to remember, there's a key manager, and when you like on this instance, I already created a key. You just like press button and create a key. It's an API key manager, and for every key, you can specify what that key can do to the content. Like for our homepage, we want our development key to be able to get data, so it can get resources. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, that's everything I need to do before I start. I'll do this. I'll go to desktop, and here I already installed BCMS client, so I'm able to do this. Then website create. This is going to open an interactive prompt asking me about the project name. Let's say, or just say project. Then it's asking me what framework I'm going to use. Is going to be Nuxt.2, and whether I want to create to connect with an existing CMS. Of course, I want. So yeah, the next question is whether I want to connect to a local or live BCMS. In our case, it's live because it is deployed somewhere, but it's also possible to install BCMS locally and just play with it on your computer. In that case, it will be local host. I'm going to connect to a live CMS. This CMS instance is called demo, so that's why I'm being presented with that option. There are it's possible to get it's possible to get all the BCMS instances that you have access to, but account that I'm currently using has only access to demo, so that's the only option that I have. So I'm going to select that. Then it's asking me which key I'm going to use. There is only one, so I can either use that key or create another one. I already configured it to have access to home, so I'm going to use development key, enter. Now it's installing all the packages and creating a basic starter project kind of in Nuxt.2. That project has no styles, nothing specific to like no layout, nothing. It's just able to get data on the page. Yep. While it's installing, I can show you one more thing. We create homepage, and we can also create like homepage template, and I can also create a template, for example, for blog, just to show you how it looks like to have like not a single entry, but like multi-entry template. When I create a blog, again, it has title and slug. Blogs usually have some description. That is, in this case, for example, required for SEO purposes, and for example, I don't know, cover image. It's going to have media, cover image, and yeah, not required. Okay, and now I have blog, and instead of opening one blog immediately, now I'm able to create more of those. So blog example, If I want to save this now, I can't because description is not populated. Cool. And I can add another one. Okay. There's also content area here that you're where you're able to enter any kind of content that you want. For example, I don't know, H2 subtitle. Okay, cool. Let me see if this went well. Yep. So it's a demo project. I'm going to open that in Codebase, in Visual Studio Code, and this is the standard project. So we just got the Nuxt config with pre-populated boring stuff around authenticating with BCMS, entering API keys, and so on. I'm not afraid of sharing these keys. It's a development environment, so you can try using them if you're having like open code base right now as well. So yeah, this is how it looks like, and let me run that quickly. I'm going to use Yarn. Everything is installed already, so BCMS is now just downloading all the content from BCMS, from the CMS, so that it is available locally for extra fast development, as well as creating TypeScript types that are available here. So you can explore this on your own later. The folder, but it has cache that contains all the content, in our case, homepage, and why just homepage and not blogs? Because I didn't add blogs to the key manager. So blogs are not available to the development key. And there's also types types are available. But those are just, there's no content. Yeah, you have all the types dynamically generated for every content, every piece of content. Types are important because you can have references between content types. So yeah, that's that. And if I actually let me close this and let me add key manager. This was not intentional. I wanted to add blog to the key manager so that I can show you how it looks like having dynamic pages inside Nuxt. Yeah, it is covered here. We have one index page that is using BCMS client to get templates, get all of them, and then just displaying template name and a slug to open that page. So that's how it looks like. This home page, we have home page, template. If I open it, then this is part of the content. And if I open blog, we have blog example, another blog. Those are all the blogs from the CMS. And if I open this one, it has this content. I guess another blog had a bit more. Yeah, I also had headings, subtitle, and so on. So we are already able to create some components and display some content for the blogs. And yeah, I guess that's it. Let me now turn this off and open quickly another code base. It is going to be this one. So this one is the one that I mentioned. It has only the home page and components for it that we just covered. So I'm going to open it. It is using the same key and using the same data. Yeah, it's being connected to the same CMS. So this is how it looks like. Let me see. Oh, wrong URL. Okay, so home page. This is our home page, and let's add data here to this hero section, for example. First, I'm going to need to open index page. This is our home page. This is how it looks like. It's just the regular Nuxt stuff. Similar, the similar way to develop this will be inside Gatsby or Next.js. It's just the syntax. And for our needs, we need to pass some data here to hero section. So to do so, I'll use again standard Next syntax for getting data inside inside the Next, and it is using async data. So async data, but it's going to be async, and we are passing context to it. Again, it's just the regular Next stuff, and I'm going to have home that is using this, or actually, sorry, context, because we connected Nuxt and BCMS with everything, with keys. Now I'm able to access BCMS in this context. Nuxt is populating or making it available everywhere. So we have BCMS, and because BCMS is fully typed, you are able to now see all the functions available. In our case, we are going to need an entry, right? We need to get home page entry, and to get an entry, we need to pass two props. In our case, it is going to be which template this entry belongs to. The template is home. Template called home, and slug, or actually entry, which is slug, and slug is, sorry. So for home page, slug is home. So again, entry home. And when we get that, I can just return that home object holding all the, let me see, oops, wait, this is going to be written. And yeah, it's not entry, but it's entry get. Okay, cool. Now I'm returning home, and to make this home fully typed again, I can predefine that in data as well. So I can do data. So this is the only BCMS specific part, and this is just the regular Nuxt, especially Nuxt 2, which is not super happy with TypeScript. So we need to be a bit more verbose and say a bit more things. So it's going to be const data is oops, sorry, not CMS, but home entry, so that we can specify which kind of home, which type home is, and yep, it's home, and then we are okay. It means that now wherever we use home later in methods, maybe here in mounted, we can have content for it. For example, home, because it's fully typed. When I open this type here, we can see what data it contains. So it's super powerful, and every time we change something inside CMS, it updates automatically. So yeah, if I go here and before this hero enter display the home object, I should be able to see all the data that we have. And now if I say like data, let's create a prop called data that is going to get home object and go to home component, or hero component, sorry. I can create a prop. This huge SVG here. Okay. So I can create a prop saying data type object wired true. Okay, let's move this. Okay, yeah, I save this, and if I paste data here, Am I going to be able to see data? Yes. So something specific about BCMS is that when you're adding content to BCMS, it's always returned in a multi-language way because you can easily add more languages to BCMS just by going to settings and adding more languages. Right now, we only have English language. That's why everything inside our object is inside English language. So that when you add another language, you don't need to change anything to the existing implementation, or you can just use this N as a variable in your implementation. So we are going to need meta, and meta is where predefined content, this is what we specified here, homepage, this is predefined structure. So everything from here goes to meta, and everything from when you enter content, like in blog, for example, in blog, we only have these entries, these properties in meta, but the rest is content. This is, for example, content. So meta and content. For homepage, we only have meta, and content is empty, no content. And it's usually like that. You don't want content editors to be able to add like a regular text, like a blog, a paragraph, which was not predefined somewhere on the page. So you usually have predefined content for or structure for homepage. So let's display this. It's a data, meta, and title. So I'll keep this here, and for this, I'll say data and title. This one is description, if I remember correctly. Data and description. Okay, then we said we are going to keep this hard-coded, but just change the URL. So that is going to be download URL. Okay, so again, this is download URL, and then we have for this one, it's called GitHub URL. Cool. And we have an image. Okay, let's do this first. I made a mistake. Reading meta, properties of undefined. See, data. It's probably data meta n. I'm having everything displayed, but I'm not reading data. N. Trying to find this tailwind, how to comment out things. Am I? Yes. Okay. It is data meta n. It's displayed here, but I'm not reading. So it's data meta n, data meta. Okay. And if I, oh, again, reading title. Let's see, data meta n. Okay. Okay. Let me now remove this part and show you a fun part. Okay, so this is kind of like the same, but everything's coming from CMS. So if I go to CMS and say that our homepage is not effortlessly, but crafted with love, and update this, refresh this, and well, so now it works like the data is coming through CMS. URLs are here, not used correctly though, because I'm not using, I'm using href, so I'll probably need to change that. But yeah, that's the Nuxt stuff. So we also have features. Let's add features quickly, and yeah, features. Here are the features. Again, the same way I'm going to pass the whole home prop, but it's probably going to be better if I here in async data create different variables holding just a part of the content that I need, because now when I in features create pass the whole home page again, I'm going to get huge object. It's just going to be harder to find way through, but it's totally fine. So yeah, I'll copy paste the part from hero that is handling. Oh, actually, I didn't show you one thing. I didn't show you how to display an image. We didn't show that. The image is still hard-coded. Let me show you that. Here in Codebase, when you create a Codebase with BCMS client, you get a demo of how to use BCMS image component. It is a component that is taking care of responsive images. So every image that comes from CMS, you can specify the different sizes that you want to get from the CMS of that image, and then the size of the image is being displayed based on the correct size, is being displayed based on the screen size. So you get those green scores on Google, as well as create great experiences. So I'm going to just import that. It was a hero component. You just need to import BCMS component the regular Nuxt way. It is like this. Okay. And now let me find that image here. So it's that one. And it has a few properties. Let's take a look at them. It is media. That is actually the path to the file. It is data, meta, and in our case, it was also, I guess, cover image or just an image. It was an image. Okay, and we have a few options. Let's create. Let's use just one. I'll use this one, for example. So actually, let me copy paste the whole object, our whole component. Okay, so it's data, image, and in options, yeah, when we resize the image, we want that image to cover the area that we specify, and the area is like this, these dimensions. In our case, the image is also taking care of retina displays, so I can just hover over here and say that, okay, I see that it's 800 times 845 times something. In our case, the design works pretty well if the image is in these dimensions. So if someone uploads a different kinds of like aspect ratio of the image, it's better if we hard code this, hard code these dimensions or aspect ratio. So I'll say that it's 845 316. I'll say 845 316. And yeah, if I didn't mess the path, the image should appear here. Yeah, but I messed the layout probably. Oh, 2 images. And R is probably not being displayed at all. Yep. Oh, let me see. It's here, just not being retrieved. It's a regular live coding stuff, I guess. Probably messed something up from meta and image. I'm getting an image, so it's probably not due to these options. Component. Yeah, I messed something up, and there are a few things that I want to show you more, so it's probably better if I leave this like this. Let me just quickly restart the server if that's some Nuxt caching issue. If it's not, yeah, believe me, images are super awesome in BCMS. Especially like the option that you can specify different sizes, not just for the based on different screen sizes, but you can also use those sizes to craft different design directions. For example, you can have like a vertical image on a desktop, but horizontal image like portrait kind of image inside on a mobile or vice versa. And you can have the same image in different aspect ratios, always perfectly cropped for your needs, believe me. Home, hero, it is image. It should probably work like this. I met something and there is no way I'm going to see what is going on. Yeah. Cache, if I go here and home page, I'll probably be able to see that in home page, I have this home hero. Yep. Media. Yep. No clue. Believe me, it works. Let me just revert back to this hard-coded image. And I'll make sure that I add a comment on this video later on with the correct answer, what is going on and what I'm missing. So yeah, features. Again, features are now accepting, no, they are not still. They are going to accept the same stuff. Okay, register but not used. Yeah, sadly, we are not using the component because I don't know how to code. And features, yeah, they are, again, going to accept the same data. And in data, we are going to get, let me see what. Now in features, we are going to get meta, en, title, subtitle. No, it's a different one. We are going to get feature subtitle, feature title, description. So let's say feature subtitle is this one. So yeah, that's data. Okay, feature subtitle. Then this one is title. And this one is description. Feature, and then we have one feature holding different features. So for that, we are probably going to need to loop through these. Yep. So here, Nuxt syntax for looping over an array. For then we are going to have feature, and index in, and then again is data feature, right? Okay, and it requires key to be index. And now I can delete those other three. I remember we had 4 features hard-coded. And for every one, we have every feature has an icon and then has title, description, and URL. So here is the feature title, description. This one is learn more, but then we have this href. I'm going to use href. I'm going to use feature URL. And we should be able to see 3 of them, right? So yeah, that's, I can remove this part. And yeah, that's it. We have editable components from data inside a CMS. There are a lot of other things that I would like to show you, but it will require much more time. and I remember we registered this event for just an hour. So I'll keep this opportunity to show you more things in some other videos, either in this kind of webinars, or create more tutorials and show you around how you can, for example, submit data to CMS, or create pages inside the CMS to be able to present data in different kinds. Like instead of displaying entries like this, you can create separate pages displaying like form submissions in a way that works for you, or creating custom functions and so on. Those are all the BCMS specific things. But for this one, the goal was to show you how easy and smooth it could be to create websites in the technology that you are already familiar with, and that is providing you with a lot of out-of-the-box functionality that you understand, and that doesn't prevent you from developing on your own, and how you are used to develop, and without extra plugins. Let me see if there are some questions. Probably don't. Create some. Yeah. Cool. Do you have any questions? Something that I can answer right away? Yes, the recording of the webinar will be uploaded somewhere, and I'll post that on my LinkedIn. I think I actually have the end of the presentation, which says thank you somewhere here. So wrapping up, full ownership of the control. Those are the benefits of developing websites in this way. Amazing performance when you build websites like this. They are super extremely fast. Pages are opening immediately, and your own stack, and super secure because things are being retrieved from Headless CMS, so nobody can change content without having access to it, change website without having access to it. And question and answers. That's what I suggested. Any questions? Anything that you already have experience with some other CMSs, or and wondering whether it's possible in this kind of approach or not? It's weird that I'm not seeing this chat throughout the presentation, so I'm not able to answer questions as they appear. That's some magic that those gamers and streamers are able to craft. Okay, guys, then I guess if there are no questions, I'm going to pause the recording of this and let the Codementor team publish it somewhere, and then keep an eye on my LinkedIn profile. I'll be able to share that there. Thank you very much for your time and interest in this technology. I'm super happy that more and more people are using it, and that there are more and more amazing websites because of the interesting and powerful stack like Headless CMSs. Thanks. Bye-bye.